It's almost evening. I'm sorry I'm late. We had a long, nice caucus. Okay, and I'm glad to be joined by Senators Murray, Stabenow, and our great friend and leader, Senator Durbin came, and Senator Durbin, but our great friend and leader, Senator Leahy. Well, as everyone saw last night and early this morning, things are moving in the right direction. Chairman Leahy and Ranking Member Shelby released a long-sought, bipartisan, bicameral omnibus appropriations bill at 1:30 a.m. this morning for fiscal year 2023. And after a lot of hard work, this package represents an aggressive and essential investment in American families, American workers, and in our national defense. It will give our troops a raise, it will make health care more affordable for millions, and it fulfills the promise Democrats made to defend democracy at home and abroad. I particularly want to thank Chairman Leahy and Ranking Shelby for working on this omnibus for months. The bill's a fitting tribute to send off our two esteemed appropriators. If the omnibus goes down as their final legislative contribution as senators, then I say bravo, well done, thank you. The sooner we pass the omnibus, the better. And I'm hopeful no senator will stand in the way of finishing our work before Friday. It's too important to the American people. As you know, there's a big storm coming in the middle of the country on Thursday and Friday, so we'd like to finish this as soon as possible. But we must finish it, of course, by Friday when the government funding expires. Now let's turn to the omnibus itself. The bill's overflowing with good news. One of the most important pieces of this bill is the Electoral Count Act, which will not just reaffirm Democrats' commitment to passing democracy reforms, but it's an important step to preserve our democracy in generations to come. The Electoral College process was flawed, and this makes some very significant corrections. I said months ago we would do everything we could to pass this bill, and now we're following through. The omnibus is going to fill our promise to stand with Ukraine, with our friends in Ukraine, with billions more in emergency economics. On the home front, the omnibus is aggressive, generous, and far-reaching in health care, making it more affordable and more expansive. Patty's going to talk about this, I believe, but people have not followed the amazing changes. This was a really great thing to improve health care of the American people, particularly working-class people, poorer people, including that every child in America who qualifies for Medicaid or CHIP will be guaranteed at least 1 year of continuous health coverage. A lot of the kids, when they turned 19, their health coverage changed. They didn't have continuous coverage for a year, and it got dropped. That was a terrible thing. It was one of our big goals. We will, for the first time, permanently extend a policy from the American Rescue Plan that gives states a full year of postpartum coverage. We've been trying to get that for a long time. That's for moms on Medicaid and CHIP. The omnibus represents also a new offensive battle in the mental health crisis. I really fought hard, along with Senator Stabenow, who will talk about it, to make sure this package will allow seniors to get Medicare coverage for counseling, including funding to train new psychiatrists, create mental health mobile units, instruct Medicare to cover outpatient mental health. We're going to attack the opioid crisis head-on by expanding options for medication-assisted treatment, also make never-before-seen investments in suicide prevention, maternal mental health, pediatric mental health. We're going to make health care more accessible than ever, assuring that Medicare beneficiaries can use telehealth through 2024. This is so important in rural areas. I go to my upstate rural hospitals, and this is their number one ask. We're also making health care more accessible we're also increasing support for rural and low-income hospitals. We're going to keep our promise to veterans. Many of the things that we voted on this summer, we said we had to fund, and we're doing it. We're funding the PACT Act. For manufacturing and science, we secure our first major down payment in tech hubs that we authorized in the CHIPS bill. Largest dollar increase for National Science Foundation ever, including securing a surge of funds for the new Technology Directorate and the STEM workforce. Combined with the investments in the Department of Energy and Commerce, we provide billions with a B to support universities, national labs, manufacturers, entrepreneurs. So I'm talking for a while, there's a lot to celebrate. There's more. Can't stop talking about it because it's so good. With largest increase in Pell Grants in over a decade. $500, it's now $7,395. The ladder up, going to college for poor kids, working kids, gets a little bit easier, okay? We secured billions in homeless assistance grants, billions for rural housing services, over $1 billion for home investment partnership programs, $1 billion for housing in the elderly, $2 billion for child care access. So, it doesn't include everything we wanted. McConnell blocked a lot of things I cared about, like 9/11 health. He just said no at the end, but it's a big step. The bill is a big step in the right direction. From start to finish, the Omnibus is made by and for the American people. We got to get it done by Friday. I want to thank my colleagues who work relentlessly to put this piece of legislation together. Thank you to my colleagues. We're going to finish the bill very soon. It's going to be a big step forward for America.